Hello, my queen team. I am going live on Friday to discuss navigating vacations because I just got off of vacation myself, and I have several clients who are going on vacation, and so that's it. I'm talking about vacations because I feel like spring break happened and now everybody's like, I've got a vacation planned, or I'm going here, or I'm going there, or it's a weekend, or I'm going to see my parents, or whatever it is, right? You got things, you got life that's going to be navigated. And how do I navigate life and stay on plan? So the truth is, I don't always stay on plan. Like, I'm not 100% on plan specifically for vacations. Before I have a vacation, I kind of make a decision. Like, I make it just like anything else. Just like it's the weekend, I make a plan for the weekend. I make a plan for my vacations. Or meal prepping for the week. I make a plan for the week and what I'm eating. I make a plan for vacations. Same thing. So before I went to Mexico, I was like, am I going to be 100% on, stay on plan? Am I going to be 100% off plan, just eat whatever I want, willy-nilly, free time? Or am I going to kind of like create some kind of hybrid where I have things I can control, let's decide what those are, and things that I don't really necessarily want to control, what are those things? And so that's typically the space that I end up in whenever I go on vacation. I decide, okay, here are the things that I want to keep in place, and here are the things that I don't want to keep in place. And here's a great tip: make yourself a list before you go. What are the things I keep in place when I'm on vacation? Water. Water is number one. Easy. Keep water in place, right? Like, decide I'm going to drink X amount of water, ounces of water a day, and hit your water goal. Grab a bottle of water, take it with you on vacation, fill it up, boom. Another non-negotiable for me on vacation, steps. Steps are a non-negotiable. I try to hit my 10,000 steps per day on vacation. Typically, that's really easy to do on vacation because you're sightseeing, right? Like in Mexico, I was visiting Isla Mujeres, and we hiked around Punta Sur and the beach. Like, when we go to the beach, we don't just like sit on the beach. Yes, I do. So I do sit on the beach and relax. I know how to relax. It's hard for me to relax, but I do know how to relax. But I also, like, I get up and I take fun walks on the beach, right? Like, I get in the water, play with my kids, walk on the beach, that kind of thing. So that gets me active. So water and steps are kind of always like my easy non-negotiables on vacation. Another thing I personally do on vacation is I don't typically, it's not typical for me to drink alcohol on vacation. If I do, it might be one drink of, in Mexico, I had none. I had no alcohol. I'm good with that. I'd rather eat my calories than drink them. And then another thing we do on vacation is share meals. I share meals because at home, I don't typically go out to dinner. Going out to dinner is not a norm for me because home cooked is always going to be lower calorie, higher volume, healthier. It is, period. Home cooked is going to be better. So since I'm not somebody who typically goes out to dinner and then I go on vacation and I'm going out to dinner constantly, night after night after night, well, then the portion sizes are going to be way bigger at a restaurant. So I share meals. And I love sharing meals because then I can just, right? Like, yeah, somebody says in the comments, they shoot for seafood. Perfect. Yes, I definitely love seafood. Especially if I'm in Mexico. The seafood is fabulous there. Tuna tostadas, on point. That was like one of my favorite meals. So sharing meals, non-negotiable for the water, non-negotiable for the steps. But then so then I talked about all the things like that I can do. Well, let's talk about the things that I didn't necessarily want to do. I didn't want to track all my calories in an app, right? Didn't want to do it. Don't want to weigh myself every day on vacation. Don't want to do that either. So those are things I did not do. Those are things that I typically do. That's something I don't do on vacation. I'm not, another thing I don't typically do at home that I do on vacation. Oh boy, I have high calorie desserts on vacation because I love dessert. Dessert is one of my very favorite things. In fact, I would rather have dessert over an appetizer, so I will choose to have a dessert over an appetizer. Here's one thing I will tell you what I don't do, because when you go out to dinner, you have a meal, right? Well, what if you had your meal plus appetizer plus alcohol plus dessert? I mean, y'all, whoa, that adds up, right? So instead of having meal plus appetizer, alcohol, dessert, let's choose one of these three. Which one of those three give you the most bang for your buck? Which one of those three are you most excited about? And if you had to ask me every single time, I'm most excited about dessert. Every time. Somebody else might be most excited about the alcohol, or you might be most excited about the appetizer, right? Pick one, but don't pick all three. Pick one and savor that one. So sure, I had dessert while I was in Mexico. Churros, the churro carts, they were fabulous with Nutella. It was amazing. And then Rosa Serena's. I don't know if any of y'all have ever been to Isla Mujeres, but if you do go, I highly suggest you go to Rosa Serena's and get some cake. Fun fact, I don't even like cake. Funner fact, I know funner's not a word. I don't like cake so much so that I didn't even have a wedding cake, because I like ice cream way better than cake. So we had wedding ice cream instead of wedding cake. Something we chose when we got married. But Rosa Serena, I don't know what she does, the voodoo she does on her cakes. They're so amazing. They're very dense. I like a very dense cake. That's probably why I like brownies over cake, because I like density with my food. If I'm gonna eat calories and they're gonna be sugary, I want them to be dense. So, anyways, that cake is delicious. Highly recommend it. But there you go. That is kind of like my go-to thing for vacation. Is I kind of don't decide that I'm going to be 100% on plan or 100% off plan. I make a hybrid plan, but I literally make a plan. And if you have a vacation coming up, make a plan. Write it down. What can you control? What can you be on point about? What's a non-negotiable? What's negotiable? Because then you're going to come back either maintaining your weight or mitigating weight gain. It's okay to me if I gain 2 or 3 pounds on vacation. That's fine. I'm not worried about it. Worth it every time, because I know how to lose it when I get back. But yeah, that is it. So if you have any questions about vacations, drop them and let me answer them for you. Or tell me hi, tell me where you're from. Be glad to answer any questions that y'all have about your own vacation or about upcoming plans that you have. And while I wait for somebody to ask me a question, I can tell you that it's not just vacations, it's everyday life. It's tomorrow I'm headed for an 1.5-hour drive, which is not that long, kind of long, to my parents' house, going to visit my parents and some family members that are coming over. And I already know that the type of food served at my mom's house is not the type of food that I typically eat. It's just not, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to prepare. I have containers in my kitchen. I'm going to quickly throw something together and bring it with me. And then when I'm hungry, that's what I eat because that's what I've prepared for. I'll bring snacks with me, high protein snacks. Or if we stop at a Buc-ee's, because there's a Buc-ee's between my house and my parents' house. And there's actually 2 Buc-ee's between our house. And so they have amazing turkey jerky. I'll probably buy some of that as a high protein snack. But that's kind of like, that's my go-to plan for when I even have like a short little trip, a day trip. I always go with a plan. I don't go unprepared, because when you go unprepared, it's simple to just go off plan, right? And I would rather not do that. What type of nuts do I like to eat for a healthy snack? I don't like to eat nuts for a healthy snack. I'm not saying nuts are not healthy. Nuts are healthy. They are a very healthy fat. I personally don't eat them though because they're calorie dense, meaning you don't get a lot of volume for a lot of calories, right? You get a ton of calories and you get very few nuts, whether it's almonds or cashews or pistachios, whatever. But instead, if you want something crunchy and you want something that tastes like a nut, get some dried edamame, dry roasted edamame. It's from Only Bean. You get them on Amazon. They come in little packages. They're like 100 calories a pack. And they taste like a package of nuts. You get a ton of them. They kind of taste like pistachios to me. And they're high protein. They're like 10 grams of protein, I think, a package, something like that. 9 or 10. But it's like 100. It's the protein to calorie ratio is awesome for the dry roasted edamame, and they also come in flavors like buffalo. I don't know if there's a ranch. There's like 3 flavors that you can get. You can find them on Amazon. Look up dry roasted edamame. I personally don't buy the big container of them because I would not portion out the right amount. So instead, I buy the pre-portioned packs of those. Yeah. I have a client that's going on vacation. I have several clients that are going on vacation soon, but I've already talked to them about like what they should pack and how they should prepare, and I help them prepare for that because we have to be able to navigate life and either maintain weight and keep the weight off long term. What other questions y'all got? And it doesn't have to be vacation related. It can be whatever related. You can ask me whatever question and I'll answer it. I haven't done a live in a few Fridays. I've been very busy on Fridays. Or last Friday I was out of town. I was in Mexico. Feel free to hop in the chat comment thing and tell me what you need from me or what you want more of. Maybe you want more low-calorie desserts. Maybe you have a question for me. And if you haven't done so, rewind the beginning and listen to me talk about vacations and how to navigate those. Favorite low-calorie dessert to make? I think any of the low-calorie cheesecakes, I love those. Those are so easy, and they're always high protein, which I love. Or, like, I have a ton of low-calorie brownies that I also like. But you know what? Okay, nope, I take this back. My favorite low-calorie dessert I make is my low-calorie ice cream. And why do I answer that way? Because I eat it every night. I literally have some in my freezer right now in my garage. I put it in my garage freezer, and then I eat the low-calorie ice cream every single night. And it's chocolate, and it's amazing, and it's low-cal, high protein. And I make it with my Ninja Creamy. Simple way to show the calorie count for a special needs girl. I love it. To show the calorie count for a special needs girl. So I'm not, I feel free to ask that again. Are you asking for a way to calculate a calorie deficit for someone's special needs, or a way to read a nutrition label for a special needs kid. Y'all might know I have a kid with Down syndrome. My daughter has Down syndrome, so I'm actually really good with special needs kids or adults even. So feel free to ask that again so that I understand exactly what you're asking. How do I approach going back to your maintenance calories after being in a deficit for several months? So you definitely don't want to hop from calorie deficit straight to maintenance calories. You don't want to like increase your calories by 500. If you do that, you're going to gain weight, period. It's going to happen. What you should do instead is add somewhere between 50 and 100 calories back at a time, which is not a lot. It's not much, but definitely if you have a strength training regimen in there and you're adding back calories slowly, then you're increasing your metabolism while you do so, and therefore over time at a slow rate you should be able to maintain the weight loss. So that is what we call a reverse diet. I have several clients in a reverse diet right now that are killing it. Like I have a woman who is eating an extra 300 calories above her maintenance and not gaining weight because we've done it. But it's taken time. This is not a quick thing. It's taken time to do. It's kind of like weight loss, right? I'm just scrolling for questions if we have any. Great question. 50 to 100 calories per like 2 to 3 weeks. Not day, not week, 2 to 3 weeks. It is a slow process. It has to be slow. Yeah. Because muscle gain's slow. Fat loss is, like if you're doing it right, if you're doing fat loss right, it's going to be a slow process. If you're doing a reverse diet right, it's going to be a slow process. If you're gaining muscle right, it's going to be a slow process. Period. So honestly, this is why mind shift has to be first in Form Fit, because the slow process is just mentally taxing on people. And that's where people just like give up or throw in the they're over it because it's just happening too slow. But this is where we have to stay the course and mentally work ourselves through it. It's a big mental game, the weight loss game. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. BNL fan says they like Chronometer. Chronometer is a great one. I use Lose It a lot just because it's easy to use. My personal app does not sync to Lose It. By the way, just in case you wondered, MyFitnessPal has my recipes pre-populated. Search the capital letters CDQ for Calorie Deficit Queen. And then title the recipe, boom, you're going to find, or just search CDQ, you're going to find all my pre-populated macros. Okay, if you're sore after a workout, does that mean it's a good thing and you're gaining muscle? So I guess it depends on the type of soreness. If it is muscle soreness, then yes, that's delayed onset muscle soreness. DOMS is what that's short for, DOMS. That is, yes, a good thing. That means you've made micro tears in your muscle. Micro tears in your muscle will lead to repair of that muscle, which will then lead to having gain in muscle, which is what you want. So yes, muscle soreness, delayed onset muscle soreness is a good thing. If it's joint soreness, that's a different thing. That's something we don't want to injure ourselves. So we've got to be careful and make sure that we understand the difference between muscle soreness and joint pain. How often should I recalculate macros? That depends on so many factors, but for the majority of women who have, I'm gonna throw out a number. Let's say you have 25 pounds to lose. Anywhere between 25 to 50 pounds to lose. I would calculate my macros, calculate your calorie deficit and protein goal, and stick with those for like 8+ months. Wouldn't change a thing. But wait, Casey, what if I hit a plateau? Shouldn't I lower them? No, don't make that mistake. If you lower them, you're going to corner yourself. You're going to lower them, you're going to hit another plateau, you're going to lower them again, you're going to hit another plateau, and then you're going to corner yourself into such a low calorie deficit, which crashes your metabolism, that you're not going to be able to sustain it, and then you're going to end up yo-yoing right back up. So that's a terrible idea. There's a better way. Don't recalculate your macros. Don't do that. Calculate it once. Stick to that. But what if you hit the plateau? What do you do then? Well, there's other factors you can change. You can change your workouts. You can change the step count that you're getting. Oh, you're getting 8,000 steps? Great, get 9. You're getting 9,000 steps? Great, get 10. Your water intake, can that be increased? What sleep? Can you get more sleep? Can you recover better? What other factors can you do other than changing your macros? Do I use collagen? I do use a collagen. I use one that comes from Costco. It is, it comes in like little plastic vials. It's not a powder. But the reason I use that one is because it is lower in calorie than most other collagens, but gives you as much collagen as the other collagen. It's a low calorie version, and it goes inside of my water. And so it's like first thing in the morning, I drink water first thing. I don't drink coffee first in the morning. I drink water first thing in the morning. I put my collagen, it's flavored, put that inside of my water. Boom, I've gotten my collagen and my water before I even drink coffee. And I started my day right. Somebody asked if I recommend MyFitnessPal. I recommend the calorie tracking app. That is the easiest one for you. Because if you use a calorie tracking app that's frustrating and you don't like it, you're not likely going to use it. And it's more important that you use it consistently than it is to be the perfect, there's no perfect calorie tracking app. The one that's best for you, the one that you think is easiest, is the one that's best for you. So that's the one I recommend. The one you like the most. The one you think you're going to use most consistently. Because consistency matters more than just about anything else. Two different nutritionists gave you two different, totally different macros. Evans, this is not uncommon. Like the amount of women I meet with that tell me this is true it's frustrating. I'm sure it feels frustrating. I'm sorry. Here's what I will tell you. I know counting macros is super popular. I get it. But all of my clients see results without tracking every macro. Because when you're tracking carbs and fats and protein, it's like you're trying to play Tetris and with your macros and get it just perfect, and it's frustrating. Instead of doing that, figure out your calorie deficit and figure out your protein goal. Period. That's it. I said nothing about carbs and fats. I said calorie deficit and I said protein. Figure out those two numbers, hit those two numbers, because if you hit those two numbers and you're very accurate with hitting those two numbers, you are not going to go over in carbs and fats, and it does not matter the carb fat ratio at that point if the other two numbers are hit and true, and you will still see results, and things will be simpler, and that simple will make things more sustainable, meaning you'll be more consistent. And I just said that consistency matters, period. So that's what I would suggest. And I would suggest you go straight to the caloriedeficitqueen.com. I have 2 free calculators on there that will calculate your calorie deficit and your protein goal. Free, right there, under Getting Started tab. Use it. If you're not on MyFitnessPal, then I don't have my recipes in any other calorie tracking app other than MyFitnessPal. If you want the actual recipes, you can go to thecaloriedeficitqueen.com, where on the homepage you'll see many of my cookbooks. Okay, thoughts on cholesterol going up with sticking to macros. So a couple of thoughts on that is, if you are perimenopausal, that could be part of the reason your cholesterol is going up. That is something that is, go follow Dr. Mary Claire. She talks about it. She knows more about that than I do, to be honest. But that is part of perimenopause. Yay. Good. Thank you, Evans. I think it's a great place to start for you. And really and honestly, once you start there, and go to my calculators, calculate those two numbers, work on being very, very accurate for 2 weeks, and you should within 2 weeks see results. Give yourself some time. Don't get pissed off in 5 days if you're like, it's been 5 days. I said give yourself 2 weeks, 14 days. Yes, I do have a website, thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. Lots of stuff on that website. I have coaching options. I have, y'all, if y'all don't know this, like, I don't just write cookbooks. I also have group coaching. And when I say I have group coaching, I mean I have like insanely cheap group coaching. Like $24 group coaching. I'm not trying to ruin anybody's, like, I get it. Groceries are expensive. Things are expensive, right? Like, I'm trying to make fat loss that is sustainable, accessible to many people. And it comes with recipes, and it comes with an e-course, and it comes with workouts, and it comes with a group forum, and it comes with Zooms with me. It comes with, it comes with everything for a insanely low amount, because I'm trying to help as many people as possible. Is it as attentive as a one-on-one client? No, I give my one-on-one clients the most attention. But that's an option too. If that's not for everybody. One-on-one clients, not for everybody. One-on-one is for the few people who are really like, I'm over it. I'm frustrated. I'm pissed off. Like, I've been doing this for years, Casey, yo-yoing. I'm finally over it. Just tell me what to do. Give me a plan. Create my roadmap. That's for those people. If you're ready to invest and do that, hop on my website, thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. It's under the coaching tab. I have two options: group coaching, one-on-one coaching. So you can check them both out. And see what's the best fit for you, because not, everybody's different in what they want. All right. Well, happy Friday. I am going to do what I always do, which is eat dinner around 5:30 probably. And then I've got a church group thing that I'm going to tonight at 6:30. And then when I come home from that, it's ice cream time, because I eat ice cream every night. But it's also time to prep for tomorrow, because I'm going to my parents' house and I'm bringing healthy food that I know fits my own calorie count, protein goal, etc. Somebody who is new here said, am I a personal trainer and nutritionist? I am a certified nutrition coach. I, at one point a long time ago, I'm an ex-personal trainer from my former me was a personal trainer. I do have a background in science. I was a high school biology, chemistry, and physics teacher. So all of you who loved your physics teacher in high school, that was me, and chemistry, and biology. And if anybody wants to nerd out with me and talk about the periodic table, chemistry was my favorite, or talk about Avogadro's number, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, I'm here for it because I love chemistry. And how funny that it all kind of collided into the chemistry of food and nutrition and biology of the human body. And I'm just a science, I guess, nerd. And I love everything science. And so I stick to, like, my entire plan is science. It sticks to science. Scientific calorie deficit, y'all, it's science. It's thermodynamics at its best. So there you go. All right. Well, y'all have a fantastic Friday. I'm going to get to all the things that I've got to do for the rest of my day and then prepare for tomorrow. Y'all, if you don't have a plan for your Saturday and you're like, ooh, I'm going somewhere on Saturday, and you don't have a plan, make a plan tonight. That's it. Think about it for just a minute. Bye.